Another one, good. But she actually was trained in East St. Louis by a student of Afrikan Dance. Now, for those of you who are familiar with African dance or Afrocentrik dance, African American dance, Afrikan Dance has been around for a minute. And her students are respected all over the world. In fact, if you ever saw that old black and white movie with Lena Horne called Stormy Weather, I believe she did the dance number. And not Shaquilla, she's not that old, but I'm talking about Afrikan Dance. But right now, I want to let her tell you a little bit about African dance, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the culture. Then we'll do another number, and we have some more surprises for you. Thank you.
Jumbo. Jumbo. How's everybody doing? My name is Shaquilla, just as my brother Sherman stated. I have been doing African dance for about 16 plus years, give or take. As he stated also, my instructor was Sylvester Lee, and we call him Sunshine at home in East St. Louis, Illinois. But I am from Chicago by way, well, from East St. Louis by way of Chicago. So I spent half of my life in Chicago and half in East St. Louis. Afrikan Dance, as a matter of fact, is still one of my teachers. She will be 97 this year. And so all praise is due for her longevity and her spirit, her nyama, and her presence, because it's very, very important as black dance in the Americas grows. She's very, very prominent, and she's something that we need and we love dearly. So all dances that have been influenced by her in some way or some fashion, some form through your dance teacher, if you're taking ballet here or you're taking modern, you've had a little bit of Dunham technique. And all praise is due to Captain Dunham. Can everybody give her a hand? She's phenomenal. African dance is something that we don't consider separate from everyday life. When I think about African dance, I don't think about something I do. I think about it being something that I live with, that's like breathing to me, like eating. You don't think about eating, you don't think about breathing. When you sleep at night, you can't count your breaths. When you wake up, do you say, well, how many times did I breathe last night? You don't. It's just a given. African dance is just a given in Africa and in African American life, if that's what you've been exposed to as African Americans here in the West. A lot of the movements, or all of the movements, emulate life itself, whether it's things that you do at home, whether you're cooking, cleaning, taking care of family, harvesting, which is really big in Africa, celebrations, we dance fanga, cuckoo. If the fishermen go out and they get good catches and they bring them back to the village, the women dance and they prepare the meals. And also they dance in the middle of the night. They dance all times of the day. If they're doing laundry, washing and beating the clothes on rocks to get them clean, they're dancing and they're singing. That's just something that is not disconnected from the culture itself. It is life. It is part of life in every aspect. The drums, the brother has touched on. I just want to say it to bring along with what he demonstrated about the drum, but you can also, you see the connection, and it just like hits you sometimes. But the fact that this wood is life. You know, you need the trees to do what? To breathe. You need that oxygen from those trees. In connection with the skin, I like to think that the skin, once it's put over the wood, it harnesses that energy from the wood. And then that skin works along with that wood to bring forth this sound that the drummers make with their hands. And I've actually seen Sherman drum to the point where his hands bled. And that's just how much energy and spirit that's coming through those drums. And also, if Sherman, if you could come up for a second, the position of the drum. We're all balls of energy, every single one of us in here. You don't think about walking and moving and talking, but that's energy. That's what that is. You think about your bodies. If you're taking biology classes, they break down the body for you. And when you start studying neurons and things like that, and then the digestive system and how it works is just miraculous. And sometimes I can't even believe that, you know, we function the way we do, and we take it for granted. And a lot of times we abuse our bodies. And that's just total conflict with what the Creator put us here for. But the position of the drummer, when he's playing, if you've seen Sherman, he's got a bend in his knees. You always, as dancers, if you, like I said, if you're taking ballet and modern, in ballet, you know you have to be stiff pretty much, but at the same time, when you're doing your pliés, you have to bend. In African dance, we're closer to the earth. Some dances involve you being upright, but with African dance, you're closer to the earth. So as a brother plays, he's bent. So he's pulling energy from the earth. That energy is in that drum. It's coming up through his feet, going through his crown. And if anyone is familiar with yoga, they explain those chakras to you, with the seventh chakra being the head. And that energy is coming out. And it's just a 360-degree circular motion of energy, because it's going through, it's coming out the drum, it's all evolving together, I say. The movements, and I'm going to try to get my daughter Candace to emulate some movements or do some movements. Now, if you were, and I'm getting some of you to come up, and you can actually make dance movements out of things that you do on a normal basis. And if you were washing clothes and you're just scrubbing them, many of us have seen our grandparents washing clothes, not in the washing machine, but on their hands. I mean, we all are not washing, we're in the age of washing machines and Maytags and all that, but there was a time when we washed our clothes on our hands. And when I say ashe, that simply means, do you agree? Or, you know, am I telling the truth or what? So if I say ashe, you hear me say that, you say ashe or you say yebo, which means that you agree. Ashe? That's cool too. I take it the way it comes. Huh? I think they like yebo better. But Candace is going to show you what she would be doing if she's washing clothes. Now, she's just typically scrubbing and washing clothes. Just scrub. Don't even, you know, dance with it. But you're scrubbing. Getting those clothes clean. And when you bring them and you shake them out, and you get ready to do what? You seen Grandma do what? Hang those clothes outside, right? I shake. Okay. Now, if you're going to move with it, it takes on a whole different meaning. She's just simply, I mean, not a whole lot of movement. She's shaking them out. She's grabbing. She's scrubbing. She's wringing. And she's shaking them out. And that's, I mean, that's laundry. That's laundry day in Africa. Or in the United States as well, because some of us still don't have washing machines and still wash some things out. And if you have a washing machine, you still will, if it's a pair of tights or whatever, you'll go and wash them out real quick and, you know, be done with it. I got people looking at me like, no, I don't wash my clothes out on my hands. I'm wash mine out. Now, come on, get these faces. I like to see smiles. When I teach my classes, I like to see some interaction. Y'all got all this in y'all in here, y'all trying to keep it from us. I see that. I see, oh, come on. I'm really tired. Smile. Y'all are beautiful people up in here. Beautiful people. You can relate. Y'all not from other planets. I think you're not. But you can relate. You know where I'm coming from.
Not to interrupt, we're going to take one second. We're going to get them charged up, because see, you all got to feel what we're doing up here. I want to hear some hands clapping. If you're going to stand up, stand up. This is your time to jump around. We're going to take 1 minute to get you all going up here. Come on, let's go.
Always does this to me. It just takes over. Sherman get off on you on the locks. And he's going to tell you a little bit about the locks too, for those of you that do have them and are confused as to why you wear them. It's not a hairstyle, people. Moving back to African dance. if you're giving praises to the Creator, as I demonstrated before, and I'm gonna have a couple of people come up, and I'm gonna pick from this nice group right in front of me, because they've been all smiles, they've been ready to go, and I'm gonna pick out some people that have been sitting there looking at me like I'm 24 karat crazy. Like these, I'm gonna have, what's your name? Catherine's dancers, and Catherine, I love that name. Oh, everybody, where y'all leaving? Whoa! Hey, they running. You talk about culture, people run. But the rest of you that choose to stay, I appreciate that. That means that you're trying to learn more about your culture and your background. Ms. Catherine has said that those of her, those students that belong to her, or in her class, if you come up, you get extra credit. Hey, it's 5 weeks left, 4 weeks left of school. I go to Belhaven, so I know that extra credit helps. So who's Catherine dancers? Where are you? Raise your hand. Don't let her call you out. That's right. Come on. Whoa. Y'all laughing. Why? Y'all laughing at African culture? Yours. Now, a lot of you might say, well, I ain't from no Africa. How you think you got here? How you think your grandma, your great-grandma, great-great-great-great-grandmas got here? It wasn't just here. Okay? So never disconnect yourself. You should want to reconnect. These three guys right here, they've been all smiles. I just love pretty smiles. Not you. Just as you said that. Come on. Come on. And she's here, Sister Ashley. And then we have a sister drummer. Her name is Ashley. Anybody else? Volunteer. Volunteer. Maybe Miss Catherine put in a good word to one of your professors. Hey, they participated in the workshop. Can you give them an extra little piece of credit? I mean, come on, people.
Shakir, one thing I noticed, the people were taking their shoes off and connecting to the earth.
There you go, sister. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Y'all have to take the shoes off. Y'all notice that we dance barefoot. I don't have pretty feet. Don't care. Hey, mine worse than yours. We're going to do something real simple. I'm trying to save all of the fun stuff for the workshop itself, and hopefully many of you will come out. One thing I do want to reiterate, and that's because I'm very passionate, and it's my culture. My drummers and myself, we don't wear the shells or wear the hair or wear the colors for nothing.
I see.
It's very, very important that you reconnect to your culture.
I see.
You lost it, it's time to get it back. So you don't look at African dance as something that's funny or something that you ain't got nothing to do with, or it's nothing that's connected with you. Yes, it is. When you were born, before you were born, you were in your mother's stomach. What's the first thing you heard? Can somebody yell it out? You heard a heartbeat. What's that? Is that the drum? That's the drum. Your mama made music for you. And many of you had mothers that sang. So therefore you heard them singing when they carried you nice and comfortable, in their womb. That drum, that heartbeat was the first thing you heard. Those drums connect with these drums out here. When y'all go to, what you call that drum line type deal at these auditoriums, y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't the drums stimulate you? Don't they make you get up and want to dance? And then you see the dancers up there and they, they doing their thing. You want to get up, right? You see those drum majors and they've been watching and they doing all, they think. You want to dance. If you're not connected, you sit there and do this. Like my mother did. I'm ready to go. But if you're connected and you're opening up your hearts and your spirits and allowing them to connect, you're going to feel it. When the brothers play, you're going to feel it in your soul. It's going to connect with that then. And then in the future, when you all marry and have children, those children will hear that same heartbeat, and you'll be able to talk to your children and tell them about the experiences that you had growing up. But you have to open up and allow yourselves to be connected. If y'all can be connected to the stuff they got out there, this music they call them rap, because I'm old school. I like old school hip hop, straight up. I like X-Clan. And if you don't even know X-Clan, I hear some clapping. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Take one of your days, go find an X-Clan CD and listen to it, and you'll see. Too hard for you. Okay? So you got to connect. Ashe? Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Thank you for that. Oh, okay. He got the feet that cut the floor, he said. And you don't want to take off your shoes because you can take your shoes. Hey, I have the worst feet up here. I heard somebody say, woo. I'm a dancer, y'all. I take ballet and point and all that too, so you ain't gonna handle pretty feet. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you all through cuckoo. And Zara, I want you to. So what I want you to do is stagger a little bit. Give yourself some space. Move those chairs back and watch the juju player. We need him. Yeah, give yourself some space. Stretch your arms out. Just make sure you ain't slap nobody. Because I actually was in a performance and one of my dancers slapped me dead in the face. And I just looked like he dancing. Good. The movements. Brother Sherman's gonna start the rhythm. I'm gonna let Candace take you through the movements, but before we start the rhythm, she's gonna take you through the movements without the music. And I'm gonna explain to you the movements as she does them. And then I want you to all let her do it. Let her do it once, and then when I cue you, then you do it. That way, So what you do is you kind of pay attention to what's going on in your dance. And as Ms. Catherine knows, she likes for our students to watch first, then do it. You know, and a lot of times we don't do that. They start dancing, and we be like, you know, it's like, watch. Okay? Starting with the first movement. That's a harvest movement. That's a harvest movement. So you're gathering. That's it. And you can actually gather and bring to your chest. It just depends on how once you get comfortable with the movement, you might see something, you know, just into it. But you're gathering. That's what that movement is. The second movement. Well, okay. Go ahead and do that one. That's just that's just like, hey, the harvest. We have good harvest. We're gathering these vegetables, we're celebrating our grains, and everything that the Creator has blessed us with, everything is grown just the way we wanted it. And our families will have food, and we'll be able to go to the markets and barter, and you know, everything's okay. So for the first movement, the harvest movement, or the gathering of the fruits and grains, okay, 5, and I'm gonna count. Normally we don't count. The rhythm takes us and gives it to us, but I'm going to count. Don't play the rhythm yet. 5, 6, 7, 8. And everything is done to the right. Everything is done to the right. Good. 5, 6, 7, stop. Okay? Now, what's really important, I say, knees bent. You can't get close to the earth and gather anything. I don't see nobody walking and picking up something going. I see you picking it up like this. Okay? So it's important. You might hurt my knees crack that time. Bending the knees. Bend. So. Alright. Bend in the back. No stress on the back. None whatsoever. And you wonder how we move so much. We don't hurt. We don't hurt because we let everything connect with the earth and we're giving that fluidity to the body. Okay? Once again, 5, 6, 7, 8. Miss Catherine here is 5 months. She's got life with her. She's carrying life. She's giving life. Right? Thank you. All praise is due. This is good for her. Women, mothers in Africa, they dance. They would have a baby here and a baby on their back. And they walk up with a big thing of water on their heads. And they wouldn't drop a drop of water. There's also dancers that can dance with heavy objects on their head, and they might be full of something, water, whatever, and they won't drop it. Why? Because if you're moving, you shift it. But everything else is stiff. And I'm going to show the dancers up here how to shift their hips without moving up here. Second movement, we're going to connect. She's going to do the second movement from the first, bring it into the second one. Together. Celebrate. Very happy. Okay, we're going to take it. So everything is done from the right. That just makes it easier for you to remember. And once you get comfortable, you're going to take it in anyway. So you're going to the right. And listen to the break. The drummer's going to give you a break so you can become more familiar with the distinction. That's the break. When you hear that, that tells you to stop, or it tells you to go, or it tells you to change. Ashe? Okay. We'll take it from the top with the two movements. Homosexuality is just not something that's big in Africa. And I heard them say, no. No, in the West, we don't do that. It's like if you see men holding hands, oh, something wrong with them. Oh, no. But see, in Africa, a brother come up to you and hug you real quick, kiss you on the cheek real quick. And he will know you from here if you, oh, bro, don't do that. Don't do that like that. You know, but in Africa, Africans are very touchy-feely people. You know, and when we're here, we become distant from each other. We don't want to relate to each other physically or excited. That's really special to me. We don't want to touch each other. We don't want to hug each other. And it's getting to the point where families don't even do that. They walk past each other and want, that was up. Used to be, you know, families, hey baby, how you doing? Oh, good to see you. Want some breakfast? You know, now it's not like that anymore. And we got cell phones and we got intercoms in the house. To the point where we can't even sit down at the dinner table anymore and converse with our family. So it's very, very important that we try to connect to see and understand why we do the things that we do, why we are so distant. But the one thing that brothers do that I do see is they grab a fist and come at each other. Okay. We're going to add one more movement, and we're going to save the rest of the dance movements for the workshop itself. So, tell everybody when that is, 1 to 2:30 at B Hall. That's the workshop. So be prepared, come in ready to dance and sweat, because that's what you're going to do. Because I got about an hour and a half, hour, what, 45 minutes? Hour and a half to work with you. I'm enjoying it. We've done the first two. We've done the third one. We're on the third one, okay? Demonstrate the third movement. Starting from the top. You did it? Okay, fourth movement.
No, we haven't danced the third movement.
Oh, y'all haven't? Okay. And I do that. Demonstrate the third movement again from the top, and then you guys will be signaled when to start. The trunk, the sternum, all that just kind of moves, but then pelvic, it just drops down. So, y'all look good. Y'all might think you did, but you did. So we're gonna open up for questions and answers. Everybody give them a hand up there. We got question and answer segment. Hey y'all, ask questions. Come on, he like to talk. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand. The only questions that are stupid or don't make no sense are the questions that are unasked. Because what you've never ever done.
All right, questions and answers. Where's the first question? I'll meet you halfway. Feel like I'm hosting a talk show or something like that. We're going over here and get you. Question number one.
To the mark on your arm.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is a unique symbol, and it symbolizes college fraternal ignorance. Has no significance whatsoever to what we're doing. But just for the record, this is in a former life. This is a new beginning. Thank you very much. Good question.
Right here in front.
Next on Oprah.
I just wanted to, could you explain the dread, like the locks, and what was the significance behind them?
You got it broken in the movement.
Is your mic on? I don't think so. Come on. Yeah, try it. No. All right, just to get that question going, first of all, let's talk about that. Hey. Hi, David. Dobby. Can we just have a mic on, please? Please.
Hey.
Thank you.
There we go.
David Dobby, thank you. Okay, just to get going on that question, why the lock? First of all, let's understand that the term dreadlock is a misnomer. Dread is a very old European word. It's from Old Middle English, and it's still used in such Romance languages as French today. Dread meaning horrible, nasty, filthy. It has been theorized that this term came out of the Middle Passage period, in which so many Africans were brought from Africa over to, quote-unquote, the New World, the Caribbean, North America, etc. But when the slaves came out of the innards of the ship, which some of the most horrific conditions known to human beings were in the bottoms of those ships, their hair was matted and knotted together and began to lock up. In its natural state, very curly hair, spiraling hair will mat and lock up, so to speak. So it's believed that that term dreadlock came from that period as the slave masters saw that hair and said that it was dreadful. However, in many cultures, it's much more of a positive connotation. In some cultures, such as Rastafarian teaching, hair is looked at as being extensions of your brain cells. It's looked at as being actual antennas because they are melanated, meaning that they contain melanin, which has cosmic properties and connects you to the universe. I know I'm taking you out there, but I'm going to try to condense it as best I can.